What is going on, everybody? It's KB. Before the episode starts, make sure you go check out StreamerSZN's brand new theme music. That's right. We have full-time, brand new theme music thanks to the newest homie and newest member of the music side of Underground Sports Philadelphia homies. That is Mobley. Stay Volk. His new single is out now. It is linked in the description on YouTube, and you'll be hearing it on audio until we can figure out if we can play it on video on StreamerSZN episodes from here on out. That's our new theme music. Stay Volk. Go download it now wherever you get your music, and go check out the music video on YouTube. But now, let's get into the episode of StreamerSZN.
Philadelphia, baby, you're gonna love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
That's it. That's the color bar. What is going on, fellow streamers? Welcome back to a full house, everywhere you look, edition of StreamerSZN, the exclusive streaming platform, TV and movie podcast on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. It's KB. It's Dylan, back from House Hunters. Yeah. And below us is either Christian or potentially a Skrull, but who knows? We will get into all of that as we dive in deeper in...
No, he said scroll. He said scroll, not
I said scroll, not Schmeagle.
What can we do? My precious Nick Fury.
It is very funny that Nick Fury is always being reminded of a ring.
Precious.
We're going to get into episode 4 of Secret Invasion. We're going to get into Emmy Nominations season. And we'll obviously get into everybody's favorite segment, the streaming platform Multiverse News and Notes, brought to you by Kenwood Beer. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials. Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at StreamerSZN, and on TikTok at StreamerSZN Pod. Follow us on all the socials for all that good content. Follow Dylan at Dylan Mazzola. Follow Christian at @thewiz_PHI. Follow me at KBIZZL311. Subscribe to the podcast feed on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you decide to get your podcasts, unless it's Stitcher, because Stitcher's going away in August, unfortunately.
Really?
Sirius is shutting down Stitcher in August. So you'll have to find a new podcast app of choice, and hopefully it's Apple or Spotify, because Dylan, say the line.
Oh, the line. I haven't said that in a couple of weeks.
I know.
What is it again?
Slacker.
No. The line is the same line it's been every week. I've said it. It's to follow us on any platform, like Kyle was saying, and on those platforms, leave a review, and then the reviews, leave comments also in the YouTube section, and let the three of us know what you want us to watch next. We have access to all services. I'm assuming Kyle still's blocked out of Max? Question.
Well, we partially figured it out. I just have to officially log back in, but hopefully I am going to be back in.
So 2.5 of us could get Max. The rest of us, 3 out of 3, 1 out of 1, whatever.
I'm mid, not Max yet.
Yeah, either way, we can watch whatever you tell us to. So
100%. And of course, like Dylan said, subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@undergroundsportsphiladelphia. We are currently at 516 subscribers. That's where you get full video episodes of this show and every show on our network. You get clips, live streams, interviews, all that good stuff. Any original video content, it's on our YouTube channel, and it has been made public due to Christian's request that if we don't get to 1,000 subscribers before September 4th of this year, DJ has to move to Alaska. So we don't want DJ to have to move to Alaska on his birthday.
That would
Just saying, that would suck.
Although, DJ, if you're listening, they do pay you annually to live in the state of Alaska.
True.
It's a small positive.
To which his response was absolute gold, because he said, "You know what? There's some hood in Alaska."
What?
He said, "I was watching some YouTube videos about it, and I think I could last." It's absolute gold. Absolute gold. So go subscribe so DJ does not have to move to Alaska on his birthday. YouTube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. And go get your merch. phiapparel.co. It's the best. They're the best merch partners in the game. There's no doubt in our minds you're going to stand out at the movie theater, when you're Netflix and chilling, family movie nights, when you're rocking your StreamerSZN merch. We're working on some new merch that should be coming out hopefully in the next couple of weeks, so very excited for that. It's the most effective and direct way to support everything we are doing here at StreamerSZN and at Underground Sports Philadelphia. So go to phiapparel.co, use code Underground, and get 10% off any and all merch orders. And when you get your merch, tag us, tweet at us, thread us, whatever it may be. We want to see where you're rocking your merch from. phiapparel.co, code Underground, 10% off your order. Boys, it is episode 4 of Secret
Day and night.
Invasion, man. Christian, I'll let you do the honors.
Smeagol? Is that you? No.
Give us that sweet, sweet spoiler warning.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your fake AI-approved spoiler warning. If this is your first episode of the StreamerSZN podcast, brought to you by Underground Sports Philadelphia, please pause this podcast, go to your Disney Plus or whatever illegal third-party site, watch this week's episode of StreamerSZN. I'm sorry, this week's episode.
I didn't know we were on the black market. Who's pirating our YouTube channel? It's free. No wonder we don't have the subscribers. DJ's doomed.
Well, DJ, start packing.
Pack your bags, partner. It's over for you.
Fuck's sake.
I think I have an extra pair of mittens for him.
Dylan, you got plenty of beanies.
Yeah, I do. Ball cut props.
Go ahead and watch this week. For fuck's sake, God. Go ahead and watch this week's episode of Secret Invasion, man. And then turn this podcast back on to listen to our dulcet yet screamy tones about Secret Invasion.
And hopefully it's on your podcast app of choice or YouTube and not the black market streaming site you're using to watch this show. No wonder our views are down.
It's a social clip, Kyle. It's a social clip.
This episode titled Beloved, Ali Salim, Brian Tucker. Let's get into it. So we start off. Actually, Dylan, I'll let you, since you haven't been on the last 2 weeks, just give your synopsis of what you've taken in so far and how Secret Invasion has been coming for you.
I wish I was gonna rave about it, but I personally think it's gotten to an extent worse each episode. Not for a lack of trying. I will defend the show in terms of I think I know what they're trying to do. It's just not working for me personally. I think that's coming from both a lover of history, liking Cold War, and also, as you know, Kyle, I like mystery or detective, like the noir type genre. So I get that, and I get the Cold War history aspect, and then I also read some comics, so I get the Secret Invasion and comics. But as you know, not to rant for too long, the comics, it's a very, very big event, and I tempered my hopes because I know they can't replicate that, but I was hoping they could channel 20%, but I feel like I'm only getting 3 to 7% of what what I expected from the Secret Invasion on page to turn into film. And for me, it just really hasn't resonated. I think there are some good lines, but I think ultimately this show is a poster child for just because you have really talented actors doesn't mean it's going to be a really great show.
There it is. So this week's episode, Gaia recovers from her wound, which I told you all last week. Emilia Clarke was not dead. They're not going to hire Emilia Clarke to just be on 3 episodes of a show and then kill her off. Although Christian and I both said it'd be pretty badass if Marvel did that. But I told you she was not dead. And then we see the whole sequence of her getting into the Super Skrull machine, powering herself up with Extremis DNA, which I kind of like that Iron Man 3 is getting a little run back here. You know, Iron Man 3 gets a little bit of a bad rap because it is arguably the worst Iron Man movie. It is a Christmas movie. Don't forget that.
It is. You're right.
But I do like that the Extremis stuff has started to pop up more and more. We obviously saw the one in Shang-Chi in the Fight Club, and then it was like, oh, that's random that we're seeing that here. Which last week, Dylan, I brought up to Christian. I said last week's episode, more than anything, was a build-up and a push forward to the eventual Armor Wars movie.
I could see that. I mean, I think if ultimately this show like breeds other things out of it, then it has a purpose in terms of like the longevity of the franchise. It's just standalone.
Especially after the big reveal that we all saw coming a mile away that we got in this episode.
Yeah.
If the Iron Man tech, Stark tech, falls into the wrong hands, which clearly it may be already, I think this has been a good build-up for that after that phone call we got last week, and now we've got Extremis DNA. Where's our boy Killian at? You know, where's Justin Hammer? Bring him back. Bring him out.
See, I'm all for Justin Hammer because Sam Rockwell's a great actor. So bring him back. It's just I'll say it later, but out of all the things they give you extensive and copious amount of information about, the one thing I guess they didn't is like the major reveal we all saw. I just want to know like how long was that a thing for?
Yeah, I think everybody's wondering.
Else, like this guy's blood type is O positive, but like the biggest plot twist, I'm like, well, okay, well.
Before we even keep going in the episode, I fully believe, even before we got the reveal today, that Rhodey being a Skrull happened relatively recent. I don't think it's a backtracked thing because if you remove that whole thing of where he's watching Tony die in Endgame and everything, that eliminates so much.
Whole can of worms. You're being such a can of worms,
and even
cause disaster.
Even the conversations that he has with Sam in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like it eliminates such a like massive like dialogue piece that we got in the MCU and kind of like diminishes the strife and the pain and the buildup that Black America has had in our country, and to eliminate that like powerful moment that we got in that show, which is one of the like shining moments of that show, I think would be so wrong in so many ways for Marvel to like perpetuate. So I think it has to be a relatively recent switch over for Rhodey to have been Skrullified.
That's what I was thinking too. I'm sure they might give us more breadcrumbs of the how recently because of what you guys just said. It has to be within months or like a year or something. You know, it can't be like 5 years or anything crazy. Just interesting. I just kind of played upon the motif that I thought like they were going to reveal like 1 or 2 characters, which they did. They revealed Agent Ross and then Rhodey, and then that's pretty much it. And then also the same thing, like you guys confirmed it for me. I didn't see Black Panther, but he gets kidnapped in the Black Panther, so we presume that he was swapped then and then died. So it's like, where's the real Rhodey? Is he being chained down, or did they just?
I think one thing I'm enjoying about this show that they didn't pull from the comics, because Dylan, you know, obviously in the comics they switch over like big key characters. I kind of like that they're doing it government-wise and giving you that aspect of like the Skrulls are kind of infiltrating the government, and then they're going to use the Super Skrull aspect to then go in and combat the superheroes more so than switching into superheroes and kind of using their powers to go toe-to-toe. I kind of like that twist from the comics, which I think plays better on TV.
I agree. That's where I opened up my like talk about I'll defend some aspects. Because you're right, in the comics, right, they can just, if they change into you, they get your powers, right? Like pretty much off the
Super Skrulls, yeah. So it's like you like kind of like what we've seen with Gravik so far, where he's got the
Yeah.
extremis power. In this episode, we saw what we saw in the trailer with the Groot power and everything.
I am
Because also remember in the comics, the Skrulls and the Super Skrulls was based on the Fantastic Four, and we don't have them yet in the MCU. So that's what that alien database Christian and I said after episode 2 is kind of replicating.
It just point is in the comics, it seems like it's an easier process for them to just grab powers. So I do like how for the show they're like, nah, like, we have to steal and experiment and like genetically modify ourselves to become super, which it makes sense. You know, I get that. So that I do respect. There are elements that I do understand what they're trying to do. Just some elements, not so much.
What do you guys make of the online theory that Gravik isn't the real Gravik?
We've talked about this for weeks at this point. Like, I'm not about to go down this rabbit hole because it would just changed this entire series. And we've been watching for 4 episodes, and Guy and Gravik have had conversations in the car, and Gravik's talking about what he remembers of Fury. And it's like, if that's not Gravik, then I'm just done with the show because Disney's just doing shit at this point.
I think Gravik is, if he is the like head honcho of like this Skrull movement of the evil Skrulls, he could go down as one of the best MCU villains.
But see,
because I think there's longevity to his character. But
yes, but I also feel like there's no way he's living at the end of this.
He's either dying like Christian said, or he's either gonna get like hardcore like
locked up
whatever, where like
place.
to where both of you are right, to where he's put away and can come back later. Because you obviously can't leave any bad characters alive that can shapeshift. Well, I'm sure like 1 or 2 can get away. My point is, you can't leave like 1,000, bad Skrulls, because they could easily do this whole show again, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless they develop in the show some type of way to like detect. I think in the comic, like something about like energy or like radiation or whatever they can detect. But
yeah,
who knows?
Because I also think this, what's his name, Pagan or whatever, this guy that has popped up the last couple of weeks, like the fact that one, he's being given like a distinctive name, and Gravik seems to be like answering to him. I'm like, okay, why is this guy so important to Gravik now? That's just something I've been keeping my eye on. The other interesting thing too is that in the comics, the original Super Skrull, which if that's who they're modeling Gravik to be, he's in the Secret Defenders.
That means nothing to me.
Just a team up thing, like a team up
Okay.
event. Like the Defenders was like the culmination of all the Netflix Marvel shows.
Okay.
The Secret Defenders is like more
Never change, Christian.
extraterrestrial, and it's like Doctor Strange, Namor, Hulk, Super Skrull, all that kind of stuff. So it could be something that they utilize. But yeah, let us know in the YouTube comment section how you feel about everything we just discussed there. But Gaia reunites with Talos, however you want to pronounce it, depending on your your distinctive pronunciation.
However you feel like, man.
Who reveals that he plans to ask the United States President, Ritson, to help the Skrulls after they successfully stop the rebels, which disappoints her. Priscilla meets with Rhodey, who is revealed to be a Skrull in disguise. And don't let it get past you, that's a lady Skrull who's playing Rhodey.
Whoa. Rhodey's a lady, yeah.
Rhodes looks like a lady. As the latter instructs her to kill Fury, but both of them unaware that Fury is listening in on their conversation. Fury later confronts Priscilla over her allegiance, but they make amends after Priscilla reveals she took an oath to her human counterpart to never harm her lover. Fury visits the fake Rhodey and shares a drink with him, which acts as a liquid tracker. Fury and Talos then follow him as he goes to pick up the president. Gravik and the Skrull rebels attack Ritson's convoy under the guise of Russian terrorists, and with the aid of the British army,
British.
Fury and Talos extract an unconscious Ritson. Unfortunately, Talos is injured and ultimately killed by Gravik, posing as a British soldier.
We knew that was coming. Well, no, Gravik was posing as Fury when he stabbed him.
No, he was a soldier.
Hmm? Am I
He was
misremembering the episode now?
He was one of the British soldiers because he was like, "Put him down," and then Fury shoots him, and then he turns into Gravik.
See, that could have been Disney's point to just make it a regular person, and everyone's like, "Oh, no,
oh, Fury, what are you doing?"
No, I'm kidding.
We did see in the trailer Talos like half Skrull, half humanized, so we knew something happened to him.
We also knew he was going to die at some point. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And there's kind of a side note question that I've been thinking about, given all of the stuff that's with how they do Gravik and stuff. Can Skrulls physically change the clothing they're in?
So I saw something about this recently, and
because every time we're like, Gravik's doing all this changing, and especially during the first episode, during that sequence, he's changing a bajillion outfits. But then every other time we see him, he's wearing like these like cargo pants and boots and this like black thing.
So when we first got introduced to Skrulls in Captain Marvel, when they came from space that we saw, they had like these like purple like things on their shoulders that were almost like nanotech-ish. Because there was a clip, I think New Rockstars put it out, I'll send it to you guys. You see like the things on their shoulders like manipulate in and out, so like their Skrull clothing like went into that, and then what they were copying came out of it. I don't know if it's just like the alien technology that they are. It's been a while since I watched Captain Marvel too, but that's what somebody said. It's like they have like this technology built into their Skrull clothing that allows all this stuff to like manipulate.
Okay,
interesting.
It's similar to like Tony Stark nanotech is what they broke it down to.
It's kind of just like when Gravik's involved, he's changing outfits and forms so much that I'm like, this is a little much.
So obviously we know Talos, as far as we know, did not get any Super Skrull serum. Do we think
he did meet with his daughter before, right?
Yeah, that's where it's like the 1% in the back of my brain is like, did he somehow get a little bit boosted? But I don't know, because last week we were left with Emilia Clarke dead on the ground looking like a Skrull, and then boom, she's healed.
Yeah, it'd be kind of lazy to do that 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
But it also, like, normally I'm the one that advocates for killing off characters, but like the actual killing off of his character felt kind of like just not uneventful. Like I wasn't like the only thing that was kind of note of it was the fact that like the symbolism of like Fury choosing to take the human president over his dead friend. Again, yeah. So it's like that's kind of symbolism, and that means something. But like the whole death itself was.
And I think the other part of it is it's not as impactful on screen here because she wasn't there. Once Gaia finds out that Gravik is in cahoots and is the reason that her dad is dead, I think that's going to just spark her character development more and her become that much more important of a character moving forward in the MCU. I saw a theory, forget who talked about it, but it was like the comics did like a soft retirement of Nick Fury, and then like he had a kid that was like Nick Fury Jr. that kind of came through, and that's much easier to do in the comics, obviously, than it is in a live action show. But it'd be interesting if like Gaia becomes like the leader of the next Avengers crew or whatever it may be because she was loyal to Fury and everything like that, and like her dad was behind him and all that kind of stuff. But I think that's going to lead to Gaia versus Gravik being like an ultimate showdown.
The power vacuum.
That's going to be very interesting, especially now since we know
Yep.
Gaia has
Good call, Chris.
at least one of the alien DNAs in her body. Don't know if she got all 4 that were on that screen, like we presume Gravik has. My one issue with this episode is I feel like it was way too short for what we still need answers for.
And see, that's where I kind of am griping against this entire series, where it's like they've already given us so much information through 4 episodes that basically kind of any important storyline pretty much feels resolved, where we're now just like, okay, Fury has the president. He's going to talk to the president. Guy is on Fury's side.
We have to presume the president's going to die, too, because we know that Harrison Ford's going to become the president in either Captain America, Brave New World, or Thunderbolts.
Yeah, and it's kind of just like it. We kind of know how this series ends, which is kind of my
gripe.
Yeah, because this was a series that, for the longest time, was built as the paranoia film, as the conspiracy thing, and yet after every episode, we can almost predict exactly what's going to be in the next week's episode. And this is where Dylan and I were talking about this over text before the show, and I talked about this a few episodes ago. This could have just been like a pretty solid 2-hour, 25-minute movie, and we wouldn't have had these discussions about like not enough paranoia, providing too much information, because every episode's like tied up very cleanly at the end almost every time. Like it's too neat of a show for the genre it's trying to be. And I keep saying it every week, and I know, Kyle, you differ from Dylan and I in the ways we view the series, but it's just like this. There isn't as many loose ends and questions as you think, because when you really look at what's happened and look at where we're going, you can probably predict what the end result of the next 2 episodes will be, minus a death or 2, and we'll still be in the same spot of I still don't know where we're exactly going from here, because the MCU's in such a muddled state. Like it's
This was the first week that I was like kind of annoyed with the episode length, because I felt like the first 3 episodes, like, say what you want about it, I thought they were good run times. Like, it was finally like a good
on the side, Kyle.
45-minute to 50-minute runtime was like perfect sweet spot for this, like if it was going to be a show. And for this to be like 32 minutes plus credits was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but the thing with this episode is like, sure, theoretically you can gripe, you can gripe about it being too short, but for what it was doing, it was telling a self-contained story that's a very clear segment of a 6-part story. Like it didn't try to set up the next part all of that hard. It was a very clean chop, which is slightly different from all of the other episodes where you kind of have like a quote unquote cliffhanger at the end, whereas this episode's really just not a cliffhanger. So I get what you're saying. I just think that even with a shorter runtime, it's very much been doing the same thing it's been doing for the entire season for the most part, except the first episode, which that first episode still drives me crazy about how that was an example of what this series could have been, and they've just slowly Marvelified every little bit of it, and now it's like, okay, this is nothing resembling the first episode anymore, really.
What was I gonna say?
I pretty much agree with most points of what Christian just said. To briefly say that I do, like I said, I still want to give anyone involved in the show credit. They tried. I'm not saying that as like the meme
Yeah.
with the cake. You
Yeah,
tried. Like
gr-
it's hard. It's a hard, from comic book knowledge. It's a hard thing to do. Kyle can definitely see that, and it's just like, to go on what Christian said. If you brand something as, you know, something, and you don't follow through to that, and you give too much, it'd be like, adversely, if they make a new a Disney Marvel project and it's like, hey, we're gonna follow Carnage around, it's gonna be a horror film, you know, and it doesn't really come off as scary. Well, you know, then it's, you know, not really a horror film. So this isn't really a spy thriller. Paranoia, there's really not much paranoia, because they very, very directly tell you who are Skrulls, or very heavily hint who are Skrulls. So
I think this show, more than any, is gonna suffer on the people who aren't watching it week to week. Because at least with the week to week, it's like you get that typical like show watching week to complain, week to discuss, and all that. But if you're watching this, you know, episode a day even, and in 6 days you're done, I think it's not going to hit you with the same effect.
yes, but again, that circles back to the, if that's the case, shouldn't it just have been a movie type thing?
I just think it's a really, now that I'm thinking about it, like, because I was really excited for this project. I think I know we were hoping that it would be like in the 7s or the 8s as a collective unit when we were done with ratings. I just think it's a really hard thing to make into a show. I just think there are some things that are harder in any source material, book, comic book, fairy tale, whatever it may. That just, unless done absolutely right or in a certain way, won't work. And that's not, like, look at all the failed adaptations of video game stuff. We're just finally getting good ones. So it's like, you know, you have to do it right, or else it's not going to succeed. And that's kind of where more or less this is going, unless they somehow magically do a 180 in the last 2 episodes.
Which I think there's still a 180 up the sleeve. I think we talked about this a little bit last week, Christian. There's a theory out there, Dylan, that the Nick Fury we're seeing in Secret Invasion is not the real Nick Fury.
This was a theory you brought up, and my response was, my head hurts. I don't want to think about this, because then I just have to do so many levels of mental gymnastics that I'm not prepared to deal with.
Because they keep saying that he hasn't been the same since the blip. Like, that's been a common phrase brought up about him, and that he's changed.
PTSD.
And then obviously in that first episode when he comes off the spaceship, like, he's all like alien looking and everything, for effect, obviously, to make it be like, who the fuck is that? But MT from New Rockstar said, we haven't had actual Nick Fury, and it got even brought up in this episode too, where it's like this new Fury is like on the brink of, you know, being done, and like he's a pushover, we don't have to kill him. MT said we haven't had the real Nick Fury in the MCU since Captain America Winter Soldier.
That'd be an interesting turn of events. I just personally think they're going the route of he's just like kind of washed up.
Because when he got blipped in Infinity War, you hear them, what's her face? Maria Hill saying, code red, get a hold of control, or something like that. But she says like control. And it's like, if Nick Fury's like the head bitch in charge, why do you need to call control when he's right here? Because in the comics, control is like the holier than thou, like in charge of everything. And it's like, isn't that Nick Fury? Where's Nick Fury? So people are theorizing that real Nick Fury is going to come down. This Nick Fury is going to be revealed as a Skrull. and then real Nick Fury is going to come and like fix everything.
But if I feel like that, I don't know. It's just kind of like not. I don't want to say lazy, but it just kind of be like meh because the good Skrull that we know is Talos, and he's presumably dead, and his daughter is in between. So it's like you're just adding another random Skrull. It's like I was filling in for this guy for the last 12 years. You know, like I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Plus, we've already seen Fury replaced by a Skrull being Talos.
That's true. But Talos is presumed DEAD, so I don't know.
DED.
Dead.
Did. Next week, penultimate episode. What are the expectations of what we get shown?
I'm assuming that he's going to tell the president about
Ready?
shape-shifting aliens. He's going to not believe him. Then the president's going to like see it. He's going to believe it, and he's going to die.
Sounds about right.
That's my guess. Because the president, with or without Rhodey being a bad guy, the president also is depicted as an absolute dipshit, moron. Like, for some, I mean, that's in a lot of movies and shows, to be fair, so it's not really different. But clearly, Rhodey, the Skrull, the woman Skrull, whatever her name is ruling over him. Kind of like if you've watched Lord of the Rings, that happens to a certain king.
Precious.
Yeah. So, point is, I just think the president's going to be useless. Like, I think he'll buy into what Fury says or shows, but it'll ultimately be for nothing, and then the finale will conclude in some fashion of what I'm saying.
Hey, Helen, useless presidents. Hasn't that been like the last 100 years of American history?
Yeah. That's why I said it's nothing out of the ordinary.
Trying to find the name of
The only useful president in a movie adaptation is Bill Pullman in Independence Day.
No. Get off my plane.
Okay, you're right. There's the four. Yeah, okay. So there's two examples.
Okay. So, thinking of that now, Harrison Ford ending up as President Thunderbolt Ross. I need him to say "Get off my plane" at some point for the memes. I need it.
That would be hilarious.
Get
Or
off my plane.
Or we just get a guest cameo, random appearance as Bill Pullman becomes president of the MCU. He gets to quote Independence Day.
There's also two other presidents we should highlight, both of which in things written by Aaron Sorkin. Martin Short in The West Wing.
Oh,
there, and Michael Douglas in The American President.
Okay, so there's a couple I forgot.
Yes, but they're very few and far between, and half of them are written by Aaron Sorkin, which is unfair.
True.
Yes, so the Skrull's name that Rhodey gets revealed as in the credits, her name is Rava. She's a Skrull pirate.
Yo.
Arg.
She's a rogue Skrull pirate. She struck back against the Skrull Empire following... I love an ad popping up. Following the deaths of her offspring, Scrag and Ravaka. In the wake of her carnage, she was sentenced to a lifetime at a secret deep space torture prison. There, she made acquaintances with fellow prisoners, Metal Master, Blinky, Absorbing Man, and
Blinky?
Black Bolt.
Absorbing Man is powerful, but also we know which child she liked more: Scrag and what was the other one? Ravaka.
Ravaka.
Yeah, sorry, Scrag. You weren't mommy's favorite. Scrag.
So she is also the Skrull that, like I mentioned, that gets revealed to be Elektra in the comics, which is a pretty big deal because she's the one that sets off the entire comic run of Secret Invasion. So for her to be Rhodey at this point is pretty interesting. Do we get the culmination backstory of when Rava became Rhodey next week?
I would assume that would be in the episode as well, with addition of what I said. So what I said probably with either actually showing it like you're conveying, or like hinting at it, or like kind of showing it. Like, oh, I took over this man.
It feels like a very MCU-y thing to do.
I think it'll kind of be kind of quick, like we got with Amelia
Oh,
Clark
duh.
almost.
It'll probably be that's how the president sees life first-hand example. It'll be Rhodey shapeshifting, and like, he's right, Mr. President. Boom, shapeshifts, and the president's like, oh my god, alien. Dead.
True. Yeah. Let's get to our grades. Let me see if I have anything else. Nope. So, Dylan, I'll start with you. Your score for episode 4, Beloved of Secret Invasion.
Just want to preface, I think I gave a 7 on the first one, right? If I remember correctly, in
Something
that
like
ballpark.
that.
And I would say that none of them have followed suit. So I would say this is like 6.5. Like, it's not great. It's okay still. Like, to me, like, if I'm rating something a 6 or 6.5, it's like watchable. But it's like, just no, going in, it's not going to be like, groundbreaking. So
6.5 is exactly what I was going to say. Like that, it's the show's just slowly been disappointing me, and I hate to rate it this low, but it's just not doing it for me anymore.
Some interesting reveals. The runtime pissed me off. I'm giving it a 7.2.
yes, collective chaos.
Mostly because, like, we still have so many fucking questions that we need answered that we're not going to get answered until Armor Wars 2, more than likely. Slash the Marvels. And we know Nick Fury's alive one way or another, if it is the real or not, because he was in the Marvels trailer.
Yes.
So that's a 20.2 divided by 3. That's a 6.7 out of 10 for this week's episode of Secret Invasion Men. Let's kick it to Emmy nominations. It's brought to you by our awesome friends at Tomahawk Shades, the best small batch eyewear in the game. They got sunglasses. They got blue light plus glasses that we are wearing all the time when we're watching our favorite shows and movies. They also have prescription lenses, so if you need to get your prescription, they got you covered. TomahawkShades.com. When you go to checkout, fill up your cart, get everything in there, and use promo code USP at checkout for 25% off your order. It's already an affordable product for a fraction of the price of the big eyewear companies, and we're giving you even more with promo code USP for 25% off your order at TomahawkShades.com. Christian, the floor is yours. The Emmy nominations are here. How are we feeling?
Girl, get it.
We are feeling interested. We are feeling interesting about it. So I'm just going to run down the list on the Hollywood Reporter. So under Best Drama Series, this is a really good list of shows, and I'm sure we've watched a collective. Well, I know Kyle's watched like a collective 2 of them. I've watched a collective. Andor, Better Call Saul, The Crown, House of the Dragon, The Last of Us, Succession, The White Lotus, and a show that more people should talk about, Yellow Jackets. All great nominations, but unfortunately, all of them are likely running into the Succession buzzsaw that will be coming across this awards season. Best Actor in Drama Series, Brian Cox got a surprise Best Actor nomination, despite really only being in 2 episodes.
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Well, I'm not going to tell you why he was in 2 episodes, because you guys have to watch the series. Jeff Bridges was nominated for The Old Man, but really this is a kind of... This could be a 4-way fight, but it also could be a 2-way fight, because realistically this is a battle between Kieran Culkin and Jeremy Strong. Both are in Succession, and both had the 2 big performances of the season. The issue is both of them could cannibalize each other, and then either Bob Odenkirk or Daddy Pedro Pascal could win. Best Actress wise, this is just Sarah Snook versus Bella Ramsey. But once again, they may just run into the Succession buzzsaw, and Sarah Snook could win. The best supporting actor category is honestly hilarious because it's just people from Succession and The White Lotus.
Oh,
It is
yeah, holy
2,
crap.
4, 6, 8 people nominated, 4 from each show. This should be Matthew McFadden's to lose because of how key he was this past season. Best supporting actress. Again, it's a lot of White Lotus. Takes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 8 spots. It's probably Jennifer Coolidge's to lose, but Aubrey Plaza or J. Smith Cameron would be a fun choice. Best comedy series. We got Kyle's beloved Abbott Elementary. Barry, The Bear, Jury Duty, which have you guys heard about Jury Duty?
Heard about
I
it.
actually
It's on
watched
my
that.
to-do list.
It's actually pretty funny, and I forgot about James Marsden, so it's pretty cool to see him involved in the project.
Marvelous Miss Maisel, Only Murders in the Building, Ted Lasso, which Kyle, when are we picking that back up, buddy? And
That will be picked back up hopefully after this week because I won't be on the road.
Yeah. And then, kind of surprising, Wednesday. Which
Not surprising.
Well, considering Poker Face got left off.
Granted, you gotta also think who has Netflix versus who has Peacock.
Kyle, they nominated an Amazon freebie show.
Yeah, Jeffrey
Poker
Bezos
Face.
probably said,
Okay, whatever.
Here's money.
Best actress in comedy, it's probably Rachel Barras' Hands to Run Away With, but Natasha Lyonne, Jenna Ortega, Kinta Brunson, and Christina Applegate all got nominated as well. Best actor, again, this is probably Jeremy Allen White's to lose for The Bear, but there's also Bill Hader and Jason Sudeikis lurking. I think Bill Hader would be a really fun win. Best supporting actor, again, this is interesting because you have Tyler James Williams, you got you got Evan Moss background from The Bear, you have Anthony Kerrigan, who we'll talk about in news and notes, and Henry Winkler for Barry. Dylan, James Marsden from Jury Duty got nominated. And then you have Brett Goldstein and Phil Dunster from Ted Lasso. You have Jamie and Roy. So it's going to be interesting to see who wins here, because didn't Tyler James Williams win last year, if I remember correctly?
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see there. Best supporting actress. This is a real smattering of like Abbott Elementary, Ted Lasso, Shrinking, The Bear, and stuff. So I don't know who's going to win there. Best limited or anthology series: Beef, Dahmer, Daisy Jones in the Six, Fleischman's in Trouble. And Dylan, I'm going to clear out for you here. Obi-Wan for best limited or anthology series.
Yeah.
Speak your truth, homie.
Show sucks. That's all. I don't even want to get. I can't even get into it. I don't know why they nominate anything.
Best actress in limited or anthology series. This is one of 3 people probably. Potentially Dominique Fishback for Swarm, Ali Wong for Beef, or Riley Keough for Daisy Jones. Best actor in limited series. This is probably Stephen Yeun versus Evan Peters. Stephen Yeun for Beef, Evan Peters for Dahmer. Best supporting actor in limited or anthology series. I'll be honest, I got no clue who's doing that. But Kyle, Jesse Plemons got nominated for Love and Death.
That show.
Best writing for a comedy series: Barry, The Bear, Jury Duty, Only Murders, the other 2, Ted Lasso. It's probably between the Bear and Barry. Though it wouldn't surprise me if Ted Lasso wins best writing and drama series. Congrats, you are all dying under the weight of Succession. I don't care.
The buzzsaw that is Succession.
Yes.
In the words of yourself.
I don't care about writing for limited or anthology. Best director for drama series. So just to put this into
Succession.
well, yes, but there's there's 3 different Succession directors nominated, and 1 for Andor, 1 for Bad Sister, 1 for The Last of Us, and 1 for The White Lotus.
So this would be an L if Succession didn't win here, because I have notable odds compared to the other competitors.
Yes,
It's rigged.
2-1.
Best directing for a comedy series. I mean, if Ted Lasso or Wednesday wins here, we riot because this belongs to the Bear or Barry. But that's
Just started watching Barry, by the way. Show fucking slaps.
Kyle.
I'm still locked out of my HBO account.
But
I plead the fifth.
I love the what's the actor's name? The bald guy.
Anthony Kerrigan.
Yeah, he's great in that.
No, Hank. Kyle. That's one of the next shows we're going to do. All right, say it with me. That's one of the next shows we're going to do. Best talk series. Sadly, we were not nominated for this. We were not nominated for this category. Boo. Anything else that's fun to talk about? Oh, best television movie. Dolly Parton's Mountain Magic Christmas. Hocus Pocus 2.
That's a thing?
Yes. Weird, the Al Yankovic Story. Fire Island and Prey. I would have hoped you all would have heard of Prey, because that's the Predator prequel.
Yeah, that one I watched.
Anything else that's interesting? Best host. Oh, here we go. Best guest actor. Pedro Pascal got nominated for his SNL thing. So that is a lot of fun. But John.
It makes me feel big.
John Berthal, Oliver Platt, and Nathan Lane also feel like good shouts.
John Berthal's in The Bear?
Yeah.
Oh,
wow. He only shows up in 3 episodes because, spoiler alert, he's kind of dead.
Why would you tell me that?
Because you will learn that quickly enough. Best guest actor in a drama series. It's all Succession. Or
I get it. Succession's the best show ever.
No. But it's all Succession or The Last of Us. And what makes this really interesting here is it's James Cromwell or Aaron Moyet for Succession versus Nick Offerman. And that's an interesting battle considering how high praise we gave that Last of Us episode.
I think Nick Offerman will win that.
I think he should win it, but I'm not putting it past. So the weird thing with this past season of Succession was we got 1 episode of James Cromwell, but the 1 episode he shows up and he gives an amazing speech. So it's kind of hard. Guest actress, meh. Once again, best guest actress in a drama. It's just Succession versus The Last of Us. So yeah, but yeah, that is the Emmy roundup. I'm guessing 100-foot wave wins best documentary or nonfiction series. So yeah, and that is your Emmy roundup. So if you're placing Emmy bets, you're probably safe placing any money on Succession in almost any category if you put it on the right person.
Buzzsaw.
There it is. So now let's get to everybody's favorite segment. It is the streaming platform Multiverse News and Notes, brought to you by our awesome beer partners over at Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia, and of course StreamerSZN, the brand new rebrand for Kenwood Beer. It's absolutely beautiful. The gold tops, the new logo. It's a smooth, clean, and bright beer with taste of boot. Kenny is the routine choice of folks who want a balanced, flavorful, no-frills beer that's right for any occasion, including when Dylan is reading the latest news and notes across the streaming platform Multiverse. Some call it the best light beer they've ever had. We just say you can't beat the original. It's 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com, check out the all-new and improved Kenny Tracker to see who's got Kenwood on tap in the Philadelphia area. Check out their store with all the new Kenny merch. They've got some great shirts. They got a Kenny beach towel. All of it is absolutely gorgeous. Go check it all out. kenwoodbeer.com. You got to be 21 or older to do so. And, of course, please drink responsibly. Dylan, we're kicking things off because I feel old about this. 29 years ago this week, Forrest Gump was released.
I wasn't even alive, sir.
Mama.
Just terrifying for my age.
So hold on. I gotta unpack this one real quickly. So I'm double checking this before I go on a mini rant about it.
Uh-oh.
Even though it's not that really a rant okay. Forrest Gump won Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, which fine, sure, yeah. It won all 3 of those. I would argue it only should have won Best Actor.
And
even then, let me paint the picture for you. So
yes,
it won Best Picture. The other films that were nominated, that your Quiz Show, 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Okay.
And then 2, little-known movies called Pulp Fiction and The Shawshank Redemption.
What?
And it won Best Picture and Best Director over both of them. And Tom Hanks beat Morgan Freeman and John Travolta. And it's kind of just like Forrest Gump lives in our culture as like a meme machine and stuff, and run, Forrest, run, but like,
and one of the most misremembered quotes of all time.
Mama said life is like a box of chocolates. That
one. It's always said incorrectly.
So what you're saying is we are suffering the Mandela effect.
Yes.
Do tell.
Because I have to pull it up here.
Wait, the Nutella effect? I love Nutella.
I have to find it here. Because everyone says life is like a box of chocolates. The actual quote is saying life is a box of chocolates.
Get out of town.
Like what?
So, like, the quote is life is a box of chocolates. That's what Forrest's mom says. But then Forrest Gump says, by turning it into a simile, he says life is like a box of chocolates. So Forrest Gump hits everybody with the Mandela effect in his own movie.
Interesting. But yeah, it's kind of a movie year that I look back on it and I go, that's the wrong picture and director winner, but that's just an Oscars thing.
True.
So yeah, pain. Anyway, back on topic.
We've got in-set photos and our first look at Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman in Deadpool 3 and Hachi Machi. I cannot wait for this movie.
Do
I-
the tweet. Do the meme. Do the meme, Ryan. Do it. Do the
The
meme, Hugh.
destroyed 20th Century Fox logo in the background looks amazing. We are clearly going to get Deadpool fighting Wolverine in this movie. I love it. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
it's awesome.
Releasing on Peacock August 3rd, the Super Mario Brothers movie.
I saw it in theaters, and I don't ever plan on watching it again.
Wow, that good, huh?
Joke's on
No.
you. I've never seen it.
Are you
That's
really gonna make me
good.
talk about it, Kyle?
Oh, yeah. Karen Sony says Deadpool 3 won't be toning things down, and it is a choice phrase here. And is hard R.
Good.
Yeah.
This one was very
Arr.
funny. The picture of the 11-mile-long IMAX print of Oppenheimer was put out there. It weighs about 600 pounds, and somebody on Philly Sports Twitter said Jalen Hurts squats the Oppenheimer IMAX print.
Amazing.
What?
Again, just so amazing.
Your quarterback could never squat the atomic bomb.
I can't either.
Simu Liu says Shang-Chi 2 releases after Avengers the Kang Dynasty. That makes a ton of sense. Because
I
the
guess.
director of Shang-Chi is the director of Kang Dynasty, so
You okay, Christian?
But it releases before Secret Wars, right?
no. Oh, Shang-Chi 2, yeah.
Yeah. See, my
As far as we know.
See, my biggest problem right now with all this is we need X-Men for Secret Wars, but we have no clue when we're actually getting X-Men, which is making basically, if we pull up the MCU movie release timeline, because there's kind of a big void. There's kind of a big void right now. Where if I pull this up, where are we at? No, I don't want the box office. I just want the list of films, please. Yeah. So as of now, it is Fantastic Four in May of 2025, and then
That's
it's
not happening.
yes, we all know that at this point, and then it's King Dynasty May of 2026, Secret Wars May of 2027. We're missing a lot of films in there, buddy. We're missing a lot of films in there.
According to Variety, he's now become somebody that I want on this podcast at some point. Will Poulter begged to be in The Bear. Quote, no one has got more fanboy energy for the show than I do. I can guarantee you that. It was one of the best experiences of my life.
And he showed up and he basically showed up for, what was it? It was like 10 minutes in a single episode.
He did it.
Amelia Clark says acting in front of a green screen is real acting. Quote, the stigma is that people don't do any acting in these shows. Then why are they asking all these great actors to do it? And why are they saying yes?
Okay. Here's why they're asking good actors to do it. Because it makes it easier for people to watch these shows if they know who's in these shows. Spoiler alert 1. Spoiler alert 2. No one says it's not real acting. We are just saying the acting is not as good when you're just acting in front of it, and also visually doesn't look as good.
I got one for you too. Spoiler 3. Money talks.
I mean, that's kind of tied into part 1, but yeah.
No, I just wanted to clarify that people, to listen to you very elaborately putting out the facts. If I say, hey, Christian, I'm filming a Disney project, I'm for Marvel, I'll give you $20 million to be in 15 minutes of screen time for 3 episodes, and you don't even have to.
You could have stopped at
out.
$20 million for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What are we talking about here, pal? This one's hilarious. The Barbie cast has a group chat, but Michael Cera is not in it. Quote, I don't have an iPhone myself. I have a flip phone.
Which just seems like such a Michael Cera thing, for being honest.
Ahsoka takes place at the same time as season 3 of The Mandalorian. Quote, the shows are all connected. There's just so many parallels, according to Games Radar. We also got the Ahsoka trailer and our first look at Grand Admiral Thrawn. Dylan, your thoughts on the Big Blue Meanie?
Big Blue Meanie. I'm Excited, but I'm also nervous. I just think Disney as a whole has just served me a slap of whatever I used to get on lunch tables back in the day, and they're telling me to eat it. So I'm taking it with a grain of salt.
Hey, just be careful what you say about Disney. I am the proud owner of one full share of Disney stock, okay?
Yeah, my grandpa told me that lie too. He said, Dylan, you own one trash can in the park because of my stock.
I own about 1 carton of lemonade.
Nice.
Take that for what you will, people. Don't tank the Disney stock, okay? James Gunn says Superman will be
Disney stock. Noted.
No, don't hold the line. James Gunn says Superman will be the same age as Philly's own David Corenswet. He will be 31 when Superman Legacy releases.
Okay.
Returning as Elektra in Deadpool 3, according to The Hollywood Reporter, Jennifer Garner.
Congrats on dying.
I was going to say that was
Christ.
But Christian also did steal what I was going to say.
Which I guess kind of confirms the rumored leak that Ben Affleck was on the set as well and potentially returning as his own Daredevil. We're going to see Ryan Reynolds kill Ben Affleck.
What's his face as Bullseye again?
Oh, God.
Is it? I'm blanking on the actor. Who's the...
Kyle. Channing Tatum Gambit. Do it, you cowards.
Well, I would like to see it.
I'll watch it.
We're going to see Ryan Reynolds and or Hugh Jackman kill Ben Affleck, and it's going to be great. It's going to be sweet justice to that fucker playing Batman. Christopher Nolan says there are no CGI shots in Oppenheimer, to which I saw a hilarious tweet that said, these motherfuckers really created the atomic bomb.
No. So this can be easily explained that they used visual effects, which is different than CGI, which basically means filming a bunch of stuff practically like filming smoke or filming sparks, and then combining that to create a digital image instead of doing a computer-generated image, which seems very Christopher Nolan-y, so I wouldn't put it past him.
James Gunn and Chris Pratt have discussed a Star-Lord solo film. The story would follow Peter Quill adapting to life on Earth. Quote, Chris and I forever have talked about how great it would be to be able to do a legendary Star-Lord movie, a story with Star-Lord on Earth trying to adapt to the environment of Earth in the same way that somebody else might try to adapt to the alien environment of outer space. He's a fish out of water in just kind of regular water. I can't wait to see it.
Did you say Ultra-Lord? Ultra-Lord?
Okay, Sheen.
Ultra-Lord.
Moving right along here. I don't think we need to spend too much time on it, but Jonah Hill being exposed as kind of a loser scumbag. Not great, pal. Not great. I love this quote from Elizabeth Olsen. She has no clue what's currently happening in the MCU. Quote, I only catch up when I get to do another project. Someone fill me in. I have no idea.
Money talks.
Mommy talks?
Mommy? Daddy? Daddy?
Pedro Pascal was not mentioned. You take that word out of your mouth.
No.
Neither was Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
No, wait, hold on. Daddy, when are we filming? Dylan.
He forgot he said that. We gotta stitch that together on TikTok.
Daddy, when are we filming? Daddy, Dylan, Daddy.
Stan Lee was set to cameo as Lambshank in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 before he passed away. He would have done the voice and had a Stan Lee-like face. It's just a Sid's toy looking gross alien, which would have been very funny to see as Stan Lee. Moving right along here. Jeremy Allen White wants Sam Rockwell to guest star in The Bear. Quote, he would fit right into the world.
Do it, you fucking cowards. Do it. Which on I I would just like to say, Kyle, we got an episode this past season of The Bear. It's a Christmas dinner episode. Episodes are typically a half hour long. This is an hour long. And these are the actors who show up for a single episode. Bob Odenkirk, Sarah Paulson,
Jesus.
and John Mulaney.
Jeez, Charlie.
And when I tell you John Mulaney is funny as hell, I mean it. So I need us to watch The Bear.
Dylan, you'll love this. James Gunn says Vigilante will appear in the DCU probably before Peacemaker Season 2.
Hell yes. That's a good character right there. I want more of it.
James Gunn says Superman Legacy is not a workplace origin story. It takes place during Clark's earlier years at the Daily Planet.
I'm okay with that.
Looking right here. This makes me feel really old because this is one of my favorite Disney movies. Disney's Fox and the Fox and the Hound was released 42 years ago this week.
What the fuck? That's a long time.
What a reaction. A Black Panther action adventure game is in development at EA's Cliffhanger Games studio.
I guess.
And being added to Call of Duty, Starlight, Homelander, and Black Noir from The Boys.
Cheers, they're doing the Fortnite thing.
Sounds like Fortnite Battle Pass.
But see, Kyle, we've talked about this, but we haven't talked about the Oompa Loompa yet.
Oh, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Don't you worry.
Just you wait.
The next one is very funny. Dave Filoni says Anakin Skywalker is the greatest Jedi of all time, to which Culture Crave did a follow-up tweet with Obi-Wan Kenobi saying, with the caption, visible disgust. Dylan, your thoughts?
I mean, one of them, I'm not going to say names, did slaughter children. So I don't know. I don't know if I was...
Mr. Skywalker, are you here to help us?
Yeah, he helped you avoid taxes, kid.
Dave Filoni, fuck them kids.
Yeah, I get that.
Moving right along here, we got a nice little side-by-side from our friends at Culture Crave of Jakuku. Culture Crave. I'm going to hit the meanest Fortnite Gwitty of all time.
Wow.
Of Jakuku Joaquin Phoenix in Ridley Scott films of 2000's Gladiator and then 2023's Napoleon.
Napoleon is good looking. I don't know if it'll actually be good.
The Borderlands film appears to be in trouble, ladies and gentlemen.
Shocker.
Here's the bullet list. Writer Craig Mazin has removed his name from the project. Strike one. 10 writers have now worked on the script, including Sam Levinson. Reshoot without director Eli Roth happened earlier this year.
You say 10 writers?
10 writers.
Oh my god.
The film stars Kate Blanchett, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Hold on. I would just like to clarify one thing here because I think this changed. Are we sure Eli Roth is still directing that film?
Well, I'm sure he's not since he wasn't there for the reshoots.
Okay. He is still directing that film. I just thought there was a change in that at some point because there's just been so much shit happen. Okay, so what? It was Tim Miller directing the reshoots that happened because Roth was doing something else, and that's what it was.
Owen Wilson says Mobius's past will be explored in Loki Season 2, according to comicbook.com. James Gunn wrote a Guardians of the Galaxy short film on how Rocket and Groot met. Give it to me. Moving right along. Christian, the floor is yours. Talk about the Oompa Loompa.
Okay.
Been waiting all day for this.
Everyone loves the original Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, correct?
Yes.
So now the director of the Paddington films is making a Willy Wonka prequel film starring Timothy Chalamet, which is like a musical-ish thing that looks whimsical and fun. And sure, we can talk about Timothy Chalamet all we want, but Hugh Grant's a fucking Oompa Loompa, and it's the funniest fucking thing ever because it's full Hugh Grant voice, CGI faced Hugh Grant in like a 2 and change foot tall body, and it's so funny.
I did not have that on my bingo card, so yeah.
We've gotten more casting for Superman Legacy, which is very exciting. Pulling up the list here. So obviously we have David Corenswet as Clark Kent, Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane, Isabella Merced cast as Hawk Girl, who apparently Pat Pitts has met, which is just the most Pat Pitts thing of all time. I'm going to mispronounce this, so I apologize. I believe it's Eddie Gathegi is playing Mr. Terrific. And then the one and only Nathan Fillion with a bowl cut will be playing Guy Gardner.
One of the worst superhero costumes, Guy Gardner, by the way. But awesome. I love Nathan Fillion, so very happy.
And Dylan, Superman's from Philly.
Yeah, we got a Philly guy playing Superman. We got the GOAT Nathan Fillion playing Guy Gardner. I think it's honestly Nathan Fillion has played so many like random like meme or like guest appearance characters, and it's funny that he's playing Green Lantern for like the 5th or 4th time. He's voiced him several times in comics or in cartoons, but he also happens to get like the worst Green Lantern. So I think the ongoing gag is still very much there, loosely. Maybe his character's serious.
Two things. One, the U.S. men's national team is on the verge of losing to Panama.
Ay caramba!
And 2, look at the tweet I just sent in the private chat.
Let's see here.
Oh, I just pressed the wrong button. I'm a boomer. It is official.
God damn it.
Pretty good, right?
That's funny.
God
I get it.
Shout out to the Ringerverse.
Kyle, explain the tweet.
So I will put it up in post on the YouTube, which you should be watching on YouTube, but it is Nick Fury since the blip, and it is a picture of one Michael Jordan in his Washington Wizards days. God damn it. Shout out to the Ringerverse. They do great work over there. This is an all-time Tom Holland quote. I don't know if you guys saw this.
Don't get me started on Tom Holland. Go ahead.
Tom Holland didn't know he had to pay his water bill. Quote, I needed to do a lot of growing up at home. There should be a lesson at school that's called life, which is like laundry, basic cooking. Like I didn't realize you had to pay for your water.
That class was called fucking home ec.
Follow-up quote. I just thought that was a luxury of living in England. I was so behind on my water bill. I'm up to date now, though. Don't worry. He's just like me for real. Give me the life class.
Guys, that was called home ec.
Yeah, well, that got eliminated for a lot of people. And I don't know if they had home ec over in London.
I went to high school.
Tom Holland has also been acting since he was a fucking child. So, did he even go to school? Ooh, roasts.
You got him.
Tom Holland is such a fucking man child. I can't handle him. Like that.
I love it.
Sure, but there were all kind of tying into the Tom Holland note. I started to watch the sequel trilogy for the first time. I'm almost done The Last Jedi. It's honestly kind of hilarious how Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley both got these iconic quote-unquote roles in trilogies. Both showed up in Chaos Walking, and both have had not great careers outside of the role in question. Kind of crazy.
This is just an unfortunate report here from Deadline, and it drives me crazy. The studios and streamers' plan is to reportedly break the Writers Guild of America.
So yes, but it was also, I wasn't sure if you're going to continue on with that quote about apartments and stuff, which the AMPTP, which is the collection of studios and streamers and stuff, said no, none of us said that.
Who do you trust? It's actual real life Secret Invasion.
Yeah, let's just put it this way: the studios are gonna get fucked if they, with the longer this keeps going, because basically Netflix is quickly losing out on Stranger Things time because the showrunners for that shut that down. Other shows are shutting down. New shows are not being written. So we could be literally here in a year and be like, yeah, they've run out of shows. They've just run out of shows.
We're in the end game now, as one
yes.
Sorcerer Supreme once said.
Yes, Tony.
Even though we're not in the end game. James Gunn also confirmed that Anthony Carrigan will play Metamorpho in Superman Legacy.
That's awesome.
Which the side-by-side photo of Metamorpho and Carrigan looks ridiculous how similar they look. Anson Mount says he's talked to Marvel about returning as Black Bolt in the MCU. Quote, I've had some informal conversations with the powers at Marvel. It's a conversation, but they've got their current phase that they need to do. I would love to jump back into the cowl and do it again. I love Black Bolt as a character. I think he was the only saving grace of the Inhumans show that was not very long-lived, so I wouldn't mind seeing him back as a canon MCU character, which we saw him in Multiverse of Madness, obviously.
For like 5 minutes.
We got a still shot of John Cena as Ken made in Barbie, which I only see a wig and a floating shell necklace. I don't know about you guys.
Damn it, Kyle.
Funny guy.
All right.
That's all I have.
Who is doing Barbenheimer?
Dylan will be.
I
just don't know exact.
Dom is the one who messed up with Steve. So Dylan, do you know the Steve Barbenheimer story?
No.
Kyle?
So, Stephen McAvoy, the co-host of the Get in the Hole podcast, the official golf podcast on this podcast network, scheduled a club going up on a Tuesday because it's $5 movies at their local movie theater, Dylan, and he and his lovely girlfriend are going to see Barbie and Oppenheimer on the same day for their double feature, two doche. They scheduled to see Barbie at around, I believe, 5 o'clock, 5:30-ish, give or take. And then they are going to do a quick little fast food dinner. And then didn't realize when he was booking the movie that Oppenheimer was a 3-hour film.
Yeah, I was going to say, so when's he have that movie booked for?
So their Oppenheimer movie time is 9 o'clock p.m. on a Tuesday.
Dude, who would submit themselves to that torture?
He's going to have bombs going off in his head at 1 a.m.
Dude, he's not going to go to work. He's going to be scared.
Homie is going to be contemplating the meaning of life driving back from the theater. Is then going to have to go to sleep right away.
Also, I think I'd rather see Barbie after as like something to
Yeah.
mindlessly like
Yeah.
be like, yeah, you
Like-
know, like just kind of numb your brain.
Yeah, like happy ending to the night, please, instead of bombs.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you eat something you don't want to, you know, at a family gathering, and you reward yourself by, you know, grabbing a Kenwood or getting ice cream like a treat, you know, like.
Oh, these aren't pies. They're bombs.
Bombs.
Made in a bomb factory.
You don't eat the ice cream and then eat meatloaf right after. You know, you do it reverse.
God, I love Steve. That's all I have for everybody. Make sure you're following us on the socials. That includes Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at StreamerSZN and TikTok at StreamerSZNPod. Follow Dylan at Dylan Mazzola. Follow Christian at @thewiz_PHI. Follow me at KBIZZL311. Subscribe to the podcast feed, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Leave a 5-star rating and review. And Dylan, say the line for the lovely listeners at home.
The line is where you are lovely listeners, where you are watching our beautiful mugs or listening to our beautiful voices. You are to leave in the comment or the review sections what Kyle, Christian, and I are to watch next. It can be any service. It can be a show or a movie. Let us know.
And, of course, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That's where you get full video episodes of this show and every show on our network, clips, live streams, original content, interviews, all that good stuff. We are at 516 subscribers right now. Need to get to 1,000 before September 4th of this year. Otherwise, DJ's moving to Alaska. And also, if you have AMC Plus or Shudder, Friday, watch Quicksand. Pat Pitts' brother wrote the movie. Go support the boy. We're working to get the one and only Matt Pitts on this show. So go watch that. Run it up. Run the numbies up for the boy. And this has been another edition of StreamerSZN, the exclusive streaming platform TV and movie podcast on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. For Christian, for Dylan, I'm KB. We are going to figure out who a Skrull is at the Emmys. But until then, we'll catch you next time.